Well, hello. Today I would love to read you a chapter of my new book. I wrote this last week, chapter 40 or so, and I'd love to hear what you think. Brutally honest, down in the comments. All right. The office smelled like ambition and panic. Chris stood at the whiteboard staring at a hiring plan that looked more like a crime scene than a strategy. Sticky notes everywhere, arrows drawn in frustration, question marks circling job titles she didn't even remember approving. 20 open roles, sales, marketing, product, ops. Everyone needed just one more person to hit the next milestone. What was that? The board had made it clear. Scale now or lose momentum. The money was in the bank, but the pressure had a pulse. She used to know every name on the payroll, every story behind the hire. Now she was approving offers for people she hadn't even met. Her gut used to be her best hiring tool. Intuitive, precise. Now it just felt tired. For the first time since raising the round, she wondered if she'd broken something. Her startup used to feel like a small jazz band. Tight, creative, instinctive. Now it was morphing into an orchestra without a conductor. Everyone was playing louder, not better. And every investor update seemed to have one underlying question hiding between the lines. Can you scale leadership as fast as you scaled revenue? And that's the trap. Once you've got capital, hiring becomes the fastest way to look busy, to show momentum, to silence the imposter voice whispering that maybe you're not actually ready for this stage. But more heads don't equal more output. They equal more coordination, more meetings, and more chances to accidentally hire the wrong people in the right roles. The founders who get through this stage intact learn one brutal truth early. Clarity beats speed every time. They pause long enough to define what success looks like before writing the job description. They hire to increase leverage, not to reduce pain. They design the role around the outcome, not the person who happened to interview well. Chris' first head of marketing had looked perfect on paper. MBA, glowing references, a polished LinkedIn profile that made her feel like she'd finally found the adult for the room. 6 months later, not a single campaign was converting. The team was producing beautiful decks, not leads. It wasn't incompetence, it was more of a mismatch. Chris had hired a manager of marketers, when what she actually needed was a builder of systems. That's when she started asking herself a different question before every hire. Will this person create leverage or dependency? The difference between the two is the line between scaling a business or suffocating it. A leverage hire frees you to think. A dependency hire drags you back into the weeds. She began forcing herself and her leads to slow down. Every new role had to answer 3 questions. What problem will this person own? What will good look like 90 days in? What becomes easier for everyone else if they succeed? If the answers weren't clear, the role stayed frozen. Yes, it meant empty seats for longer, but it also meant no more awkward performance management, conversations 3 months later that felt more like confessions than feedback. And there's another layer most founders ignore. Hiring speed creates culture debt. Every rushed hire lowers the average emotional intelligence of your team by a few degrees. You start losing the subtle signals, the shared humor, the unspoken trust that made the company work in the first place. Before long, meetings feel heavier, communication gets weirdly polite, and you realize you've built a company full of strangers all chasing different definitions of done. The fix isn't another hiring framework. It's self-awareness. Founders often rush hiring to fix how they feel, overworked, overwhelmed, underwater. But people aren't painkillers. They're multipliers of whatever system they enter. If your processes are broken, doubling your headcount just doubles your chaos. One night, Chris stayed late at the office after everyone had gone home. The sticky notes were still up on the wall, some falling under the weight of humidity and exhaustion. And then she took them down one by one and started rewriting roles on blank pages. Not titles, not we need a head of ... Just problems to solve. Inbound pipeline conversion, customer onboarding friction, churn after 3 months. When she was done, she realized she didn't need 20 hires, she needed 6, the right 6. That night, for the first time in weeks, she felt calm. Because clarity is control. And control at this stage is the rarest form of freedom a founder gets. I hope you like this. It's getting really hot here. Love you all. Gotta go drink a glass of water. See you later.